But good segue into point number three here. This is really exciting anytime DKI does come out with new research report. But point number three of this week's 5 things, DKI releases their report on Shockwave Medical, trades under the ticker SWAV.
That's right. Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to give people 2 disclaimers here. One, on the finance end of things, please do your own work. If you're not a deep knowledge investing subscriber, even if you are, you have to be responsible for your own investment decisions. I'm telling you that I own this in my account, and I'm about to tell you why. The other thing is, because we're talking about a medical device company and it's for cardiac procedures, and we'll explain what they do. I just want to emphasize, this is not medical advice. I am not a physician. I'm not qualified to provide medical advice. While Deep Knowledge Investing does have a phenomenal cardiologist on our board of advisors, he is not your doctor, and my firm does not provide medical advice. If you are having a medical problem, a heart problem, if you require a stent being put in, we strongly suggest that you go see your doctor, go see a doctor. This is not medical advice, and my firm does not provide medical advice, and I'm not a doctor. So there we go. So what happens with a lot of people, this is very common, arteries that go to the heart, the tubes that carry blood to the heart, can become clogged. And so a number of years ago, people invented something called a stent. It's like a little wire mesh thing that you slide into the part of the artery that's blocked, and you expand it. And as you expand it, it opens up room to increase blood flow. And these are very common procedures now. And, while any cardiac procedure can be dangerous, it's now a pretty safe procedure. But there's a problem. In somewhere between 10 and 25% of cases, there's excessive calcification. And that's just a fancy way of saying there's hard plaque in that area that makes it hard to push the stent through, even in its small form, before you expand it. Now, for years, Rob, the standard of care was something called a rotablator. Now, imagine like a tiny drill that spins at incredible speed. And so the interventional cardiologist, your surgeon, would put this drill through the artery and use it to drill through the plaque. There are 2 problems with that. One, the main one, is you run the risk of perforating the artery. That's a fancy way of saying the drill could go through the artery and now you have internal bleeding. In a situation like that, people can die on the operating table in minutes, right? So a rotablator, it's not highly dangerous, but if something goes wrong, it goes really wrong. The other problem is the rotablator is good for creating a path through the center of the artery, but it's hard to do much for the plaque that's on the wall of the artery. And the issue with that is it can make the wall of the artery brittle and lead to future complications. Now, what Shockwave has done is they have combined a device that can emit electrical pulses that break up this plaque, the calcification, with the stent. And so with Shockwave, what they do, the surgeon will put in the device, it will emit electrical pulses that will break up not just the plaque in the middle of the artery, but the plaque that's on the artery wall. And then they place the stent and expand it. And in a situation like that, the risk of negative medical complications is very low, much lower than it would be for a rotablator. And because they've cleared the plaque from the artery wall, that stent is going to be a better long-term medical placement than it would be under other circumstances. So basically what we have here is a fast-growing medical device company where the product is phenomenal. We've spoken with multiple cardiologists, interventional cardiologists. This is the best standard of care for that 10 to 25% of cases that are complicated right now. And I've spoken with the company, I've spoken with cardiologists. They have a 2 to 4 year lead on the competition. So the end result here is we think Shockwave is going to be bought by a competitor. They were in discussions with Boston Scientific last year. Johnson & Johnson has been interested. And there are one or two other companies that have been tracking Shockwave and are interested and could be good competitors because acquirers, because there's no one that has competing product. The other key thing that I would say is the news here from our point of view is we've just released the report on it, made it available to the public, but Deep Knowledge Investing subscribers were told about this idea in December. We started buying the stock at 191, and they had plenty of opportunity to buy the stock below 200, in the low 190s at 190, 191. The stock closed a day ago at $235. I actually think that's where it closed today. So, DKI subscribers have made enough money on this to more than pay for the cost of their subscription. For people who are listening to this, I haven't sold a single share myself. It's because I think the company gets acquired for more than $300 by a competitor. And so, I don't think people have missed it. I think, DKI subscribers have done really well in this. But, if you're listening to this and you're interested and you want to learn more about it, reach out, and we're happy. Like this report we've now put in public. So we're happy to share that with you.
Yeah, great point, Gary, regarding the report. If you are interested, head to investor.deepknowledgeinvesting.com/SWAV, that ticker there. You'll be able to enter your email, get that report directly delivered to your inbox. And as Gary has mentioned, yeah, definitely a great movement on that ticker since December.